Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video, I want to look at Game Week 2 and I want to look at some of the best transfers to make for that game week. Now, we all got some kind of plan, right? We all got, players that we might want to remove. Some people has players that are injured or who hasn't played. And we want to look at options right now. I know that it's best to make the transfer like nearer to the deadline, but it's good to have an idea right now. And there's some people out there that needs to make that transfer and I want to help out. And price rises, it's very important because if we don't catch the price rises for a player that we might want to get in our team, then it's going to be so difficult to bring that player in later on. So all I'm going to do is just go through the transfer menu and look at some of the best transfers to make for Game Week 2. Now, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. So here we go. As you can see, for Game Week 1, I got 95 points. So I'm around that 700k mark. Just to let you guys know that don't look at the overall rank right now. It's very volatile. So, extra 5 points and I probably will be around the 500k mark or maybe 4 to 300k. So it's very volatile. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things will change. I think the best time to kind of look at it is around Game Week 8 just to see where we at. But for now, as you can see, 95 points, very good start to the season. Now, if you didn't start off really well, do not worry. Trust me on this. I've seen so many FPL managers out there around the 3 or 4 million or whatever, and they're finishing the top 10k. So don't worry at all. There's a lot of game weeks left. So let's just have a quick look at the team. Now, I already created a reaction video last night, so please check that out. So I'm just going to quickly go through the team. So 95 points there, Salah and Fernandes bringing the big points. And as you can see, it's pretty much of a template, but I've got three big differentials of Mahrez, Barnes and Benrahma. As you can see there, only Benrahma bringing in the big points. So I'm a little bit disappointed in Mahrez, especially because he's 9 million. However, I brought him in because I'm looking at that Game Week 2 fixture against Norwich at home. But we'll see. I'm not really sure if he's going to start, but we'll see. So the idea here is basically to bank the transfer in Game Week 2. So I have 2 free transfers in Game Week 3. And go and try my best to go and get Son, or maybe Rafinha, maybe Lukaku, maybe even Harry Kane. Just to really adjust my team around a little bit. So that's the idea, but I am looking at some transfers. I'm going to be looking at players that a lot of people are looking at right now. And I'm going to give you guys my opinions on those players. Okay? So here we go. As you can see, I picked a bunch of players here that I want to go through one by one. There's a really strange picks in here. Now I didn't go ahead and looked at every single possibility, but I wanted to look at some of these players that did well. And I'm looking at them and thinking to myself, are they going to do well in the next coming game weeks? Okay, so let's go through the players. So first up is Antonio, 7.5, 25.6% owned. His ownership is going to go higher and higher. As you can see there, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 maximum bonus points. Took a penalty but missed. So I'm hoping that the penalty taker will be Benrahma next. That will be fantastic. But a fantastic option. For me, I went with Benrahma. I just didn't want to double up. And I guess double up was the way to kind of go. If we look at the fixtures for West Ham, Leicester City at home in Game Week 2. Then it's Crystal Palace at home in Game Week 3. This looks really good. Then is the international break. Then we'll see how they perform in the Europa League. But I think West Ham really needs another striker. Not to replace Antonio, but just to help Antonio out to have his rest a little bit. I think we need to be wary and look at Antonio's minutes and so on, just in case, because he is an injury-prone player. Now, Danny Ings, not on everyone's radar right now, but he's a highly owned player. He actually didn't do that well, or didn't really. I think he probably had like one shot, and that's probably the penalty that he took in the last minutes of the game. But the fixtures in the next two are good for him to score. Even if Aston Villa doesn't do well, he will score. And then later on, we can think of to remove him. But I think there are other players that a lot of people are looking at. So I'm just going to move right now to the next player. And that is Dennis. That has picked up a knock. But if he's okay, then maybe it'll be a good option. 5 million striker. That is fantastic. We just have to see how long he's out for. If it's just a knock and he's okay for the weekend, I think if we are thinking to wildcard soon, he could be a player to kind of watch out for. A player that scored a goal, assisted as well, only played 65 minutes, got the 3 maximum bonus points. I saw the highlights there, watched extended highlights, and he performed really well. He was very lively, and he could have got more. With him and Sarr, yeah, they looked really, really good. And it's not just that, it's the fact that he's 5 million striker. That's what's interesting to me, because I can use a player like him to be on my bench that is playing, or I might actually use, because the fixtures for Watford, like we saw and mentioned, you know, I had a site in my team looking at that game week 1, and in game week 2 I will bench him, in game week 3 I'll bench him as well, but then I'll play him in game week 4. Maybe after one, like if I'm thinking to wildcard after game week 3, Salah could be the way to go, and him. So I just thought I'd give you guys my opinion on these players. Paul Pogba is a very, very interesting pick. As you can see, 4 assists. 4 assists in one game. That is a lot of points there, guys. 2 bonus points there. 7.6. Had a price rise. 9.8% owned. For me, I think Greenwood is still a better pick than Paul Pogba right now. I think Paul Pogba would tick along, but I think there are other options for me. If you want to take a little bit of risk, you want to try something new, Paul Pogba is the way to gonna go. The fixtures are looking really good. A lot of people are thinking to like captain Bruno Fernandes in game week 4, maybe even game week 3. So good option. But I think there are better options, and there is Son. That is a better option. That is 10 million, 22.1% owned. Right now, a lot of people are thinking to bring in Son. They didn't bring him in game week 1 because against Manchester City. But like in game week 2, they got Wolves away. Then that Watford fixture at home looks really good. The Crystal Palace one as well. And he's a fantastic player. It doesn't matter who he plays. For me, I just wanted to see how Tottenham will perform. Then make, you know, that transfer and do that reaction if he actually does well. So good option, guys. Great captain option as well in game week 3. Now, I had assigned to this list because we knew how good he is. He scored a good goal. It was a massive reflection, but he played really well. He could have got a few assists here and there. 3.9% owned. 6 million. Very, very cheap player. So if you're downgrading, I don't know, maybe Havertz or something, and you need some money, Salah is the one to gonna go for. The fixtures in the next 2 is not the best, but we're looking for long term as well. So he could be the one to kind of go for. Greenwood in short term is a fantastic pick. Now I could have put Jota into this list as well, but I think Jota might be more of a rotation risk than Greenwood. With Cavani out and Martial not properly fit, Greenwood is the one to kind of go for. As you can see, he scored a goal. And I think in the next 3 fixtures, I think Greenwood is going to be the one's going to pick up a lot of points. 7.5, 8.4% owned. Definitely on my radar to bring into my team. Like I've got Harvey Barnes. If he doesn't do well, then I might be thinking to bring in Greenwood in my team in game week 3. But Ben Rama, his ownership is going to skyrocket. I mentioned this before in the preseason videos where he looked really good. I took a risk on him, went for him, And as you can see there, a goal, an assist, and 2 bonus points. I genuinely think that he would do well in the next 3 game weeks. So a very good option and a cheap option. And this is where we can make a lot of money and have a team value and kind of like grow that. Now, I wanted to mention Duffy. I know that he's not the best player in the world on everyone's radar, but a 4 million playing defender. Another one. That's great to see. And he had a couple of shots as well. If I could just log in, because I forgot my login details on Fantasy Football Hub website. I could have checked out the stats there, but I have seen a couple of things that he's took like a couple of shots in the box. So I want to have a look at that. So I will be looking at more stats later on in the week. But a 4 million defender that is playing might be a good option. Cresswell, I saw the match against Newcastle. I mean, he looked really, really good. Not only he scored a goal, but I think he could have got a lot more points here. Taking a lot of the set pieces, you know, corners, and just all the time crossing the ball. It's like he's programmed to get the ball and cross. I think that if I was wildcarding or I needed a defender, and I needed a defender that has the potential to do really well, Cresswell is the one to kind of go for. Good fixtures. Leicester at home might be difficult there. They might concede, but he can still bring in the returns with an assist or something. Now, Simmons Cash, a player that is 4 million, 25.4% owned. We were right, you know. A player that started and kept a clean sheet against Norwich. Although he didn't play that well, but he got into positions where he could have got some returns and he took some corners. That is fantastic to see. I'm hoping, and well, actually, we're all hoping that he continues to play. Now, Pereira is on my radar, a player that has got the potential to do really well, got an assist, got those 3 maximum bonus points. I'm just basically looking at these fixtures and I'm thinking to myself, I can see Leicester City doing well and keeping a clean sheet. Now, once I look at more stats in detail later on in the week, I'll be coming up with some good stats for you guys to have a look at. But for now, like with the eye test and looking at some of the highlights, it looked really good. Alonso, I just want to quickly mention that I don't know if he's going to be a player that is going to keep his place. So you've got to watch out for that. There's a good player like Chilwell to kind of come in. So scored a goal, 3 maximum bonus points there. I don't know. If you want to take a risk on Alonso, go ahead. But for me, it's all about wait and see. But I mean, he is a player that has got the potential to do really well. But the fixtures for Chelsea, like we mentioned, against Crystal Palace, we knew that they were going to do well, and that's what happened. So our predictions were correct. Now, as you can see, don't have any Manchester City asset because we don't really know who to go for. Now, I'm just going to remove these players quickly, and I'm going to add some of these players here. There we go. So Gundogan, apparently he picked up an injury. It's a shoulder injury. We'll see what the doctor says for him, but he might not be able to make it in game week 2. Just wait though before you make any kind of transfer. Sterling has come back, played 69 minutes there, didn't return. You got Mahrez there, played 78 minutes. You got Torres, played 90 minutes. You got Jack Grealish, 90 minutes there. Kevin De Bruyne is back, but not everyone's going to go for him. 2.4% owned. That is so low owned. That looks really good. And Jesus there up front has come back and played. Now, I can't sit here and tell you which one you should go for. I started with Mahrez. I'm going to go with Mahrez. I'm hoping that Mahrez will play. But if I had to pick some of these players, it will be De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, and Mahrez for now. And I think Jesus will probably play up front in the next game against Norwich at home. So that's my first kind of predictions early on. I'll do more research and give you guys more stats later on in the week. Anyways, guys, my next video will look at some of my strategies and what I'm thinking to do. Right now, I'm just going to wait and see. I thought I would give you guys some transfer thoughts so you guys to have a look at. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope that this video has helped you. It's a little bit early in the week, but I think a lot of people are looking for some transfers. Once I look at some data and some more stats, I will present to you guys more defined players to kind of pick for game week 2. Okay, guys? Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. Hopefully this video will get up to about 200 likes. That would be fantastic. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.